Alright guys, so today we are going to be taking a look at the Ensemble number 17. So this one is featuring the Zeta, we have a Gundam Natale, we have both versions of the Jak Dog and then the option set. So as far as myself, I was able to pull two of the red version of the Jak Dog, so that was pretty cool just to do. I was not able to get the other one that was piloted by, is it Gina? Or yeah, so I didn't pull that one. Zeta, we were able to pull pretty much a dupe of the upper body and then the lower section, so that's pretty good. And then we also did get the weapon set. So unfortunately, I do not have a Gundam not delay, so we will not be able to use some of the extra parts that it comes along. So that's kind of unfortunate, but hey, we were pretty much able to secure most of the things, so that's pretty good. Supposedly, it could have gotten really bad because Double Zeta comes with a two-parter, so if you would have only one or the other, that would have been really bad. But I'm definitely grateful ready to have both of them, so that's pretty good. So I'm gonna put everything together and then we will take a look at it. Alright guys, so it took me a minute to actually put everything together. Essentially, I have to build four. So let's start off with the option set. So that's pretty easy, self-explanatory. We have the GN cannons for the Natale. Unfortunately, we do not have Natale at the moment. So maybe later down the road, I would be able to get it. And then these are just some of the fin funnel expansion part for either or the Jak Dog, so it does not really matter which one is it. And then we also do have some option hands, so these are actually pretty nice to see because we can slap these onto any of the ensemble because they are pretty much universal. And last but not least, we have the beam saber for the Zeta double Zeta, so that's actually pretty neat. We have the lower section for the double Zeta, so you guys can definitely see it looks pretty detailed, it looks pretty amazing. And this one you can actually just separate like so you have like a core fighter, that's pretty neat. This one is the upper section for the double Zeta Gundam, so it just looks pretty good. So there are a lot of other parts that is not included onto the kit right now, so these are essentially all the parts that are spare at the moment because we have not put it into the Mosu form, but that's a lot right there. And then last but not least, we have a Quess, a Jak Dog, so looks pretty good. So that now that you guys seen both of these separated, let's actually put them together into, I think they call it the G forces. So essentially we take out the core fighter, and then what you want to do, you can actually just plug it in right there. There's that little peg right there, and it would just go right there. So now you have the G forces, so they are supposedly combined. Looks pretty good. And then now that you guys seen this version of it, we can actually go ahead and transform this one into the actual double Zeta in the mobile suit form. Alright, and there you have it. So this is what double Zeta Gundam looks like after transforming. So it looks pretty neat, right? I think all the details are definitely in there. So back part wise, it looks something like this, so pretty good. So articulation on this one is fairly the same as the other one, so we can obviously rotate. It does get hindered just a little bit. You guys can see it does kind of bang into that back part right there, so you can't really get like a full 360-degree spin. There is no side or like a swivel from the the torso towards the waist, because the back part is pretty much locked in or it's gonna be really loose. So you guys can see it's held together by that peg right there, and then there is another two that connects to the back, so it's pretty limited movement. You can spin obviously, but it's also limited as well because everything just gonna be hitting that back part there, so kind of unfortunate, right? You can kind of raise it a little bit so you can kind of do your pose right there, but overall it's not bad articulation wise. So pretty much all of them are going to be the same, right? Pretty much every time when we take a look at these ensemble, they look something like that. So I'm just gonna put this on the side right now. Let's actually take a look at the expansion part. So we got the beam saber handle, and then we have the beam saber, so we have that, and then it does give you two open hands like that. So let's actually equip it onto the right hand, so we can just actually slide it right in here. So there's like a peg, yep, and then we can just actually fit it on. Okay, all right, so there you go. and then we can actually just take this off and then just plug it back right in like so. Bam. That looks clean. Yep, that looks pretty clean, right? So what else you can do, since I do not have Natale at my disposal at the moment, so what we can actually do, we can actually just take this, since the handle is pretty much universal, we can just actually peg it on like this. Yep. that looks sick. Yeah, look at that. Yep, that actually works out. So you can pretty much, like, if you do have these, you know, expansion parts, whatever, you can just toss it onto any of your ensemble kits, because they all have like the universal adapter, whatever. So it's pretty much good to go for any kit. So that looks pretty nice. You got some dual weapons going on right there. Yeah, that looks nice. Yep, that looks good. So I'm gonna put Zeta, double Zeta on the side now. Let's actually move on to the Quess Jak Dog. So this one is pretty good. It looks really nice. I actually do like the design of this in terms of like a really small scale. So yeah, backside looks pretty nice. You do have a lot of details, obviously, so pretty good. The shield, look at that shield. Look at that emblem. It looks so good. All right, yeah, that's good. In terms of special feature, so any of these, you know, Xeon stuff, like the camera, the mono eyes. If I can take this off, let me see. So you guys can see we can actually change the camera angle as well on these. So that is actually really good on attention to detail. So that's not bad. And then we can just slide the kind of like the armor right there back on. So that looks pretty nice. And then we have the fin funnels right there. So these don't really do anything at the moment, unless we take a look at these, which we will in a bit. But articulation on this one is actually a little bit better, because there isn't anything that kind of gets into the way except for the shoe. So let's actually get that out. Really the same, it rotates pretty nice. What I noticed about this one, it actually has a different connector point. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's actually a little bit different than, let's say, Zeta or double Zeta one is actually more of like a ball joint. So I don't know why they use a different one, even though they are from the same line. So that's, to me, was kind of weird, right? But going back to the articulation, this one you can swivel, no problem, pretty nice. And then legs, you can bring it forward. It is a little bit still on this one. Whoops, came right off. Alright, if that's the case, that means we cannot really kick it forward that much, because that means that connection from the waist to the chest is just gonna come right up. So we don't want that. Bend wise, pretty much universal, really good bend. And then in terms of the feet, pretty much the same thing. It's going to be on like a ball joint, and then you can just swivel like that. So not bad. You can definitely get a lot of cool poses with this one, I feel like. Let's see. Can we bring that up? Yeah, that looks nice. Yep, that looks good. Alright, what we can do now in terms of the special equipment for this version of the, or pretty much two of the Jak Dog, we can actually remove all of these pots right here, pick those out, and we can actually take these, and they just equip onto whichever one of these slots. So we do have 6 of them, so we can theoretically just have all 6 of them kind of firing off. So let me attach all of them, and then we will see how they all looks like. Alright, so after you attach all the fin funnel, this is what you can get. So it does looks pretty dramatic, obviously, with just, you know, flying off. And then we actually went in for that open palm there, so it looks like, you know, you're actually commanding the funnel. So that is actually really nice that we do have that. And then we're gonna bring in the action base, so we can just have it, you know, aerial, right? So let's gonna see. All right, nice. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just gonna put it right there. But other than that, I mean, that is going to be pretty much it in terms of the Ensemble 17. So obviously I could not get the other Jak Dog, the one that's piloted by Gine, I believe that's what his name's called, and then we could not get Zeta Gundam. So I think eventually I will definitely see if there is a way for me to actually get it. I would, obviously would like to collect the whole sets. But let me do actually bring you guys a quick comparison in terms of the other one. So we have the Aerial Reborn right here. So they are pretty much all the same size. I think they're like roughly about a good 4 to 5 inches tall in total. So you guys can see that they are, just roughly about the same. So yeah, other than that, that is going to be pretty much it for me, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one.